So I'm back in the course now, and as the instructor, and what I've done is I've gone in as a second student and also submitted their peer evaluation as well. So what I've got as a member of staff going in the Buddycheck is I can see a completion status bar, so it's 100, so that's great. Click on the drop down, it says 2 students, both submitted, that's good. I think the end date's not until the 14th of Feb, so there's a bit of time to go on that, but I think I should be able to close it early. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to lock down the evaluation, release some feedback to students, and then also modify the grades on an existing assignment. So here's my group report, and what I want to do is I want to modify or slightly weight or differentiate between the marks that each student will get on that report. So at the moment they've got 80% each for that group report, but I want to slightly modify it based upon their contribution to the task that their peers are going to rate them on. So let me just go back to Buddycheck and have a look. So here we are, click on the name of it here. So that's how they submitted. There's sort of a factoring here, so we can see Biotech 1 has got a positive factor, whereas Biotech 2 has got a negative factor. So maybe Biotech 1 by the peers reflected upon and said they did quite well in the task, whereas Biotech 2 did negatively. So that's quite interesting. What else did it tell us here? How individuals mark, that's interesting. This student is high performer, it tells us, that's good. How they gave another student as well. Now this one here's got a speech bubble to it, and that means there's an instructor message been left and it says no problem basically. That's what the student said. Now the student can see how they self-reported as well, which is quite interesting. And again, there. So what we can now do is we can do a couple of things in here. As I said, the evaluation doesn't close for another 7 days. But what I can do is I can lock this early, lock evaluation, means no one will be able to submit anymore. We have to do that before we move onwards. It's now locked. Now if I want to, if I go back to, let me just go back to the student I've got here, so Biotech 1, which is one of my dummy students. If I go to Buddycheck, it'll show me, great, you completed the evaluation. You can find the results here after your instructor releases them. So what I'm going to do here is in my instructor view, where is it? There it is. Oh, sorry, not that one. That one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to say release results. How do I do this one here? Yeah, I can do that. So that's great. Survey results released and sent to students. So if I go back to my student, which I think is this one here, I'm just going to click back on that link to refresh the page, and we should hopefully see view your results. So the students will get a report. I think we can customize this. So if I put any custom questions in, we can have kind of feedback for that. But here are results from the peer evaluation. They get kind of a vector graph where they can see against those 3 criteria how they've achieved against to the average of the group, team average, where they've evaluated themselves and where their actual teammates evaluated them as well. So if they're over, or under rating their own performance, then that could be interesting. There's also suggestions under each one around ways that they can improve. So it is written by the company, but if you put your own questions in, I think you have to put your own kind of feedback about it. And there's peer messages at the bottom here. So that's kind of a message now. So that's one aspect of peer evaluation. It could be quite useful, but the other aspect I'll go on in a second is about how I can then tailor it to another marks assignment. So the way you do that is